Hello and welcome to another Zach Carnage video. So this time, as you can tell from the title, we're going to have a look at how to deal with when your opponent's castled up. So this is a classic example of a player who's castled up. We've got Tau obviously because that's what they do now. They just sit in the corner and shoot stuff with their railguns. So you've got fire warriors defending the front line and you've got the big stuff at the back like hammerhead and broadsides. So the idea is that we have to take out these main units at the back if we want to keep our units alive. So I'm going to be talking about this generally, but using my Necron stuff for examples. So you have to think, what units do you want in your army? What's your favourite core unit? So obviously warriors are a great option now because they keep getting back up and you can glance vehicles to death. Well, not glance, take out the hull points until they're down. So if you think about this, we've got warriors, but warriors aren't very fast moving. They're going to be taking ages to get across the table, and if you've got an enemy sat right at the back, it's going to be a bit difficult to get over to them. So one of the techniques that you might have seen in some of my videos is I take advantage of this little guy here, a Cryptek, and what I do is I give the Cryptek Veil of Darkness, one of the upgrades you can get, and stick him with a squad of Immortals. Generally go for Immortals with Gorse because they're just better now, because rapid fire you can still shoot full distance even when you're walking, and you get rapid fire shots for when you get close enough. So stick him with them, and then you can Veil of Darkness teleport straight over to this side, and obviously you look for a big enough gap where you can do as much damage as possible. So these are Tau, so they're going to be rapid fire shooting, so you might want to try and make sure you can get hit by as few people as possible. So this is just some stuff. You might choose to deploy back here, because then you can fire off at the hammerhead and try and glance it, or you can fire at the warriors down here. The great thing about Gorse blasters, obviously, is they're actually AP4 now. So you're going to be, well, I say now, but they're reasonably cheap and they're AP4. So you're going to be taking out most of these guys if you just stick in some Immortals with Gorse blasters. And we've got a whole bunch of other units actually available to us now. Probably the most effective deep striking unit would be the Wraiths, because they're pretty much the best. They're always the go-to unit for the modern Necron Codex. So obviously you take a bunch of Wraiths, stick in a Destroyer Lord, and then you can deep strike them. And you want to try and get them as close as possible. Obviously they're not going to be able to shoot straight away, although I do actually find that I prefer either to deep strike them where they can't be seen, and then so I can attack the next turn, or it's always a good idea if you can just run up on the battlefield using terrain to hide them, because you don't want to be coming in on turn 4 and not having a chance to do anything, because it's just a waste of points. Then looking at some other stuff that you can deep strike, obviously all jump infantry you can use, so you might even want to bring in your destroyers just for the shooting capabilities. But we're going up against stuff with 2+ armor saves and vehicles, so really if you're looking for a speedy unit that can cause lots of damage, probably the best thing is to bring in a Doom Scythe, because this thing just destroys, well, everything. But obviously you can't bring it on the first turn, but after the second turn, and you've started getting in range with the death ray, there's pretty much nothing that can survive that. Because strength 10, AP1, it's a pretty ridiculously overpowered weapon, but it's a lot of fun to use. So take advantage of that sort of thing, and it's only 175 points for the whole model. So what you ideally try to do is bring it up, to a close enough distance that you can get a good shot off, and maybe try and spread it along here and try and take out the broadsides as well as the hammerhead at the same time. And then leave these weaker units like the warriors, which aren't going to do anything to it, just leave them for your other things like the Immortals. Now I did mention that you could use a Cryptek, but then you get some problems with this, like if you're sending him off with his own squad of Immortals, you're going to need an Overlord to accompany something else. So what I tend to do is I take my Overlord, give him a Resurrection Orb, and plonk him with the warriors. And then if we're playing objective based, I can have all of these guys stay on one side of the board and just defend it, because there's not a lot that can budge 15-20 warriors, especially if you've got a Res Orb in there. So that's always a good unit for sticking fast. And obviously there are newer units you can use, like the Tomb Blades. I've got one here. These are actually really quick units, so you use them a bit like the Immortals in that you try and get them close and then just rapid fire all of the troops. So really the Immortals act as troop killing, fast moving guys. And that's what the Tomb Blades do as well. Whereas your race with a Destroy Lord, you tend to want to be sending after the more powerful units like broadsides in this case. So thanks for watching this quick video about bringing down the castle wall. Hopefully you've got some interesting tips here. I know I haven't really covered as much as I could in as much detail as I wanted to, but if you are interested in learning a bit more, I'm going to be doing another post about this on my blog. So check out the link on my channel page, and you'll be able to see even more information about bringing down the castle wall.